Is it Trinidadian or is it? What is it? Is it? Wait. Trinidad. Welcome back to another episode of Cuisine TV, where we quiz the cuisine. That's right, quiz the cuisine. Today, we venture to the West Indies, to the Caribbean. We're gonna try Trinidadian and Tobagoan cuisine. That's right, the cuisine of Trinidad, or the islands of Trinidad and Tobago. And this one I'm super excited for. Why, you might ask? Well, the reason is because Trinidad and Tobago as islands have had, in terms of their cuisine, a crazy amount of influence. It really and truly is a melting pot of cuisines, and none more so than West African, your Indian subcontinent. You've got influences from South America, Latin America. It really does reflect a massively diverse community you have on those islands. But essentially, Trinidad cuisine you have, or is very popular for stews, curries, and barbecues, really. And I'm hoping that's what I get to try today. We are going to kind of, or in the back of my mind, I'm trying to think of the most popular Trinidadian and Tobagoan cuisine street food, and that's like the bake shake or the shark bake. Well, I mean, it's shark, and hopefully I get to try something like that. But again, being an island, they love their seafood, and so you're going to see that a lot in their cuisine. And one of the most interesting parts of the cuisine is the fact that there is a massive, especially with the snack and street food type, there's a massive Indian influence of it. So you get dal puri, you're going to see roti, different types of dumplings, but again, everything with curry, everything with chutney, and chutney they love. Today we're going to order from a place in Stamford Hill called Roti Stop, and yeah, I mean, before they close, I think I better order. So see you in a second. Don't mind if I do. So we start our Trinidadian and Tobagoan cuisine with something actually is quite common among most Caribbean countries, especially in Jamaica. But what makes this so different is the fact that we are using fish, salt fish, in fact. So we're going to have the salt fish fritter. Again, very common in most Caribbean countries. And so we're going to try our Trinidadian and Tobagoan version of this. And essentially what it is, it's just basically salt fish mixed with some corn flour, some scallions, some onions, some tomato, all kind of battered into this kind of patty type structure. Actually, it's quite squidgy as well. And it looks quite spongy. So anyway, look, I don't want to talk about this. I just want to eat this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break a bit off, which has been broken off anyway. Break a bit off, and we're going to dip it, okay, in a very special high grade Scotch bonnet sauce, which is very unique to not only Trinidad cuisine or Trinidadian and Tobagoan cuisine, but also to the shop itself. Very special. They bottle it up and they sell this hot sauce. I've been told it's really hot, so I can't wait to try this. And I'm going to be dipping everything that we have into this sauce. So watch out for this. So I'm going to get a bit of this fritter. I'm going to get a bit of the sauce which I've dipped out before and take a bite. That hot sauce. Ooh, that hot sauce is serious. Wowza. I need to take a little bit less of that. The fritter itself though, nice and oily. You can tell it's been fried. spongy. Saltfish flavour is nice, salty, very, very nice. It's got some vegetables in it, so you know you've got your tomatoes, your onions in there as well. Gets a bit of sweetness to it, but the textures of it is beautiful. But I tell you what, the thing that kind of rounds it off really nicely is this Scotch bonnet sauce. Right, so we move on to our next item. These are very, very popular street food. There's no line between what's the starter and what's the main course this time around. We're just going to try everything. And now we move on to something that the Trinidadians and Tobagans are very famous for. As we said, dumplings. And not just any type of dumpling. We have gone for, again, the saltfish dumpling. So what we've got here, it looks like a burger actually. A burger, quite dense this one. So the fritter was quite spongy. This is actually quite dense, and it's got literally peppers, saltfish, onion mixed in like almost like a patty of some sort. And this is going to be very, very interesting. I'm going to eat it and try it like a burger and see how it tastes. Am I going to dip it in the sauce? Am I going to? Maybe not yet. Let's try this. So because I didn't dip it in the hot sauce, the salt fish really, really comes through. The flavour of the fish really comes through. Again, onions. If you have a lot of onions in something, generally it starts to make it quite sweet. And that's exactly what's happened here. The saltiness of the fish, but then the onions have given you that sweetness to it. And the pepper is not a chili pepper, it's just normal red bell pepper, which has been sauteed into this mixture, putting together between a dumpling that's quite dense to feel actually, I should say. But when you take a bite, it's actually quite soft. So almost like a burger type. Here, what we have is very, very significant and popular, and actually something that is a staple on the islands of Trinidad and Tobago. We have for you today, or I have for me today, a double. What's a double? Well, a double is the first kind of, not really the first, but it's one of the dishes that we have today that really symbolizes that melting pot of cultures. It really, really brings all of those kind of Indo-Trinidadians and Guyanese, Suriname, all of those influences together. This is the first thing that we're going to try that really, really brings that in. And what is it? Essentially, it's 2 dal puris, which we've seen before in Mauritian cuisine, in Indian cuisine, in Sri Lankan cuisine, all across the Indian subcontinent. And it's almost like, and again, a flatbread burger, because what they've done, they've doubled the dal puri or the roti together, and inside they've put a really, really flavoursome chickpea and potato curry. So it smells delicious. We're gonna try this now, and usually what they do is get, the Trinidadians are quite onerous with their chutneys. So they're really known for their chutneys, especially this Scotch bonnet one that we were trying here. So everyone's got their version. So what we're gonna do is be a bit brave, dip a bit, or shall I say pour a bit over into the double, and I'm gonna go for quite a wholesome bite. It could get messy. Let's see. That chili sauce is gonna get me every single time. But what about those flavors? One thing that stood out for me is, again, the curry is very different to what you'd expect from the Indian subcontinent. You can tell that this has got, and excuse my naivety, but you can tell it's got not only those subtle Indian flavors with the tamarind, and this Scotch bonnet is definitely synonymous to the Caribbean, but also the sweetness of the tamarind coupled with that really, really makes it very, very different and distinct from what you'd expect from maybe a chana masala or something like that. This is fantastic. Right, so talk about carb load. We're gonna try something called the aloo pie. Now, if you know what aloo means, you know that I love aloo. I love potatoes. This is aloo pie. Again, very common in on the streets, the islands of Trinidad and Tobago, and we're very fortunate to try something so authentic to the region. And what is a aloo pie? Well, actually, it's what it says on the tin. It's a pastry which is opened up, and it's kind of filled with this potato spice, some greens. So sometimes they put peas in it, sometimes they put, like green vegetables in it, mixed into almost like a pate. Again, pate, put inside the pastry and served almost like a baguette or a hot dog, and it looks something like this. So it's quite a strange kind of looking item. Let's dip and taste. So maybe let's break some off first. I think let's break this off. Ooh. I love potatoes. I absolutely love potatoes. And what I was scared about, the fact that potatoes might be quite bland. I mean, look, if I did potatoes, salt and pepper, and I'll be happy. But this potatoes mashed in with these spices. I mean, you can taste a massive explosion of those flavors, spices, some of the vegetable in there, again, pated in, so it's nice and smooth. But it's essentially a very flavoursome mashed potato inside there, but not like a thin in texture. It's quite thick, and in this pastry, it's actually quite wholesome. So even though it's quite relatively small in size, this is very filling because you're carb on carb, just the way I like it, really. Right, so what we have here now is something very special, something very popular, super authentic to the Trinidadian and Tobagoan cuisine, especially in the south of the region. I may be butchering the pronunciation, but the Pholourie. So the Pholourie. Now, what is the Pholourie? The Pholourie is basically a type of dumpling. How it's made is actually with split pea flour, water, spices, deep fried, and then it's served with some chutney. Now, we don't have the chutneys with us, but usually it's a mango chutney, chili chutney, coconut chutney, tamarind chutney, and again served nice and hot on the roads and street sides of Trinidad and Tobago. Interesting fact, this actually is also very popular in Guyana and Suriname. Why? Because of the Indian immigrants that were in Trinidad and Tobago. They actually took this Pholourie over there as well. So actually it's very popular in those regions, those countries as well. So again, amazing history behind this specific snack. But without further ado, and without talking kind of overly too much, I'm gonna give this a go. Look, nice like golf ball shape. Look, we don't have the chutney, so we're gonna try this Pholourie with this lava hot chili sauce. I could imagine having this on the street side of any Southeast Asian country. India, definitely. The spices, garam masala, turmeric, everything is in there. This is something almost resembles something that I would have at home. Very, very nice. The spices are so familiar. Flavors are so familiar. And actually accompanies this red hot lava sauce perfectly. It's really, really good. Right. What do we have here? The infamous roti. That's right. The Trinidadian and Tobagoan cuisine roti. Honestly, this is so exciting because we have roti and we have like bread type wraps everywhere in the world, literally everywhere in the world. And this is very, very specific to Trinidad and Tobago. This is very, very popular and very, very authentic. We could have had loads of different fillings. We could have chicken, lamb, curry goat, jerk chicken. We've gone for chana, and maybe because it's probably the most popular filling that you can have in this roti. I'm super excited, but what is this? It is just a roti wrap. It's basically a nice thin roti that is kind of spread out almost like a plate size, and then it's filled with this filling and this delicious chana curry. I'm going to take a bite of this and let you know how it is. I didn't realize that it had that much chili sauce in it, but whoa, so good. Honestly, so good. We've talked about this chana curry already and how Trinidad food is based around stews, curries, dumplings, and you can tell that they love to marinate, to make this curry perfect, and that's exactly what it is. Nicely spiced and then kind of elevated with this chili sauce. The roti itself, obviously, it's spread out. It's got a nice lightness to it. Very light. And one thing that I actually completely forgot until I started ripping it open is it's not just a plain roti. It's like a dal puri. So it's a big dal puri, but a thin version of it. So adds that extra flavor, extra texture to the meal itself. So you've got bread, you've got lentils, and you've got your filling. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. I love this. What a meal! What a great meal. I'm stuffed. I'm absolutely stuffed. We're having carbs on carbs. But very good. We didn't get our shark bake, which I was really excited for, but everything was top notch. I mean, flavors amazing. When you look back at all of the things that I had, they were quite snack type, so there wasn't a specific kind of starter, main course, dessert vibe here. We had all the foods that you would have as a snack, but some people have it as a main. It was really good. So it was quite nice just kind of picking and choosing and eating every single element as and when I wanted to. And of course, they come with amazing dips, and in particular, the one that we kind of bought from Roti Stop itself was the heat wave kind of chili sauce. Unreal. Went with every single thing that we had. Trinidad and Tobago cuisine, who would have thought, was going to be so different to the rest of the Caribbean. It was, and I loved it. So I hope you enjoyed this lockdown cuisine video. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe. Click on that bell to get notified when we release a video. Check us out on Instagram. Check us out again on TikTok, because we've got a TikTok. Who would have thought? And of course, keep watching and supporting our videos on YouTube. Until next time, bye.